fired Balch Springs police officer's rifle was on display in court today during his murder trial. It is the rifle Roy Oliver fired 5 times into a car, striking and killing Jordan Edwards in April of 2017. The state is wrapping up its case against Oliver. Today, there was also compelling cross-examination by the defense. Fox 4's Sean Rabb inside Frank Crowley Courthouse for us tonight. Sean.
And good evening to you, Clarice. I must tell you, all eyes were fixed on that rifle as it was on display by a Dallas County Sheriff's Department detective inside that courtroom, as well as the hundreds of crime scene photos introduced as exhibits today. And today we learned from the medical examiner how that bullet tore through the brain of 15-year-old Jordan Edwards. And now we have an indication of how the defense may try and proceed.
Can the witness show that to the jury, Judge?
Dallas County Sheriff's Detective Garrick Whaley shows jurors Roy Oliver's rifle in court. The weapon Oliver used to fire 5 rounds in less than a second towards the car Jordan Edwards was passenger in. The 15-year-old in the front passenger seat. The bullet through the window, striking Edwards in the right rear of his head.
There was marked devastation of the right hemisphere of the brain, just completely disrupted.
These pictures show where 4 of 5 bullets struck the car, the 5th hitting the rear of the Impala after striking the pavement. Crime scene pictures of the vehicle show no alcohol containers in the car. No one in the vehicle fired or had a weapon. Trace evidence experts from the Dallas County Crime Lab explained gunshot residue on the back of Edwards' left hand came when Roy Oliver went to the car and checked the boy for a pulse.
Part of your determination for your arrest warrant then for homicide, you never looked at the general orders of Balch Springs?
No, I didn't.
Defense attorney Miles Brissett cross-examined the lead Sheriff's Department detective, Juan Carranza, on what he didn't do during his investigation and whether the actions of Balch Springs officers Tyler Gross and Roy Oliver running to the area where gunshots were heard, pulling weapons, and trying to stop an evading vehicle were appropriate.
All what you just mentioned, I think it's appropriate, but when he decided to fire those rounds into that vehicle, no.
So that's what I'm trying to get to, Detective. That's the only thing about Officer Oliver's actions leading up to the shots being fired you don't think was reasonable or appropriate, correct?
Correct.
They got to look at it from the standpoint of the police officer and what he saw at the time of the event in question. It's a reasonable man standard.
Attorney John Reed should know Reed won an acquittal in 1997 for Blake Hubbard, a fired Grand Prairie officer charged with murder. On duty, he shot Joe Calloway and killed a mentally ill man who had a knife.
Don't jump to conclusions. You've got to hear all the testimony and see how he felt at the time.
So the state has not rested yet. There was a hearing this afternoon. Here's what, Clarice. The prosecutors still want to get in that April 16th car accident where Monique Arredondo ran into the back of Roy Oliver's truck. They say that shows his anger because allegedly he pulled a gun on Arredondo and her sister and toddler niece. The defense, as you might imagine, have sternly objected to that. Judge Brendan Birmingham will rule on that in the morning. If he says yes, we'll have that testimony before the state rests.